Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video either. She is out and about today, spending some time with her family, her side of the family. She will be in the video hopefully later this evening, but we're going to talk about Elon Musk. He might be the one to land the, I guess it's really inappropriate to say, I was going to say the kill shot on Twitch, but yeah. Elon Musk has Twitch in his sights. He's actually tagging in Jeff Bezos, because he's like, hey, yeah, you got a problem with Hasan Piker. Hasan's been saying some really not very good things, and in light of what happened this week, you know, I think at this point, these platforms are going to have to clamp down hard on any violent threats or calls for violence. Twitch has not enforced its rules evenly. Like if you misgender somebody, you get kicked off the platform. You want to fantasize about killing somebody, that's okay. You know, that's fine. I never thought I would see Blue Sky and TikTok clamp down on this kind of behavior before Twitch, which is owned by Amazon, which is, you know, a huge public-facing company. But the fact that Elon Musk is actually getting involved now and calling on Twitch to be like, yeah, you should look into some of your streamers because they're saying some batshit crazy things that would definitely not fly on X. I mean, people are you know, talking about X and how they think it's more of a free-for-all now than it was, you know, when it was Twitter. But even X, if you call for violence against a person or fantasize about violence or talk about stabbing people, I think there was another one, was Destiny. I don't follow these people. I don't watch Twitch, but I think there's another one, Destiny, who was like, you know, he wanted to commit genocide against conservatives and all stuff. I'm like, that would not fly on any platform, but for some reason that's protected on Twitch. But again, if you misgender somebody or something, you get thrown off of Twitch. I mean, it's very obvious what the political leanings of Twitch are. And I think anyone who's been paying attention knows what the political leanings of Twitch are. The question is, how long will Amazon put up with this horse shit? That is the question. And, you know, you couldn't pay me to stream on Twitch at this point. We actually did stream on Twitch. It's probably been about 12 years. I think about 12 years ago. And we did some of the stuff with the gaming, content too a few years ago, but like I just don't want to be in that ecosystem. But they actually had us come over to do art. They wanted us to do like drawing live streams and stuff like that. And this is like 12 years ago, and it just never really took off because all people wanted to see were tits. You know, now all they want to see are talking heads from one side of the aisle. So we're going to talk about this. It might be that Elon Musk is the one who ends Twitch. Actually, maybe he'll buy Twitch. I don't think Amazon is going to want much to do with Twitch here pretty soon. Twitch is a massive liability for them. They just had another controversy about the view botting. This is my personal feeling on it. My personal feeling is that some of the view botting, if not a majority of the view botting, is actually coming from Twitch itself. Okay. I think they're using view bots to inflate their numbers, to scam advertisers, and to justify their existence. Because remember, Twitch has had multiple rounds of layoffs because they weren't performing and their ad revenue dropped off a cliff. And then a couple months after, you know, it came out that the ad revenue was not good, all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're going to get rid of view bots. And I do believe that there are individuals who are view botting their own channels. I think there are management companies that are view botting people's streams because, again, it benefits them because they can go get, you know, brand deals and ask for more if these people have more concurrent viewers or whatever. But I personally believe, and this is coming from a guy, you know, with a marketing background, I personally believe Twitch has been inflating its numbers to justify its existence, because I can't believe that many real people are over on Twitch listening to people call for death on their political opponents. I mean, that's just insane. Well, there's a lot of tits over there too, so I mean, that might be part of it, but nobody's watching Twitch for video games anymore. Did you notice that? Like, whatever happened to Ninja? Do we still talk about Ninja, or do we have to memory hold Ninja because he came out as a Christian? I think he came out as a Christian. He's like, I'm not going to live stream with other women out of respect for my wife and which is actually very sweet and very gallant of him to do in this day and age. But people attacked him because they're like, you're not giving women an opportunity to use your platform. It's like, he doesn't have to. Get away, thought. Anyway, be gone. So we're gonna talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to Substack. Go out to news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up for notifications. And also, we do have paywalled content out there. Working on a plan. We're going to bring you a lot more paywalled content. I don't trust YouTube. I don't. I think YouTube is trying to turn itself into TikTok or something. But I have noticed that views have picked up this week. Unfortunately, views have picked up this week because we're talking about all the political stuff, which is very weird because that's the opposite. I'm going to be honest, that is the opposite of what I thought would happen. I thought if we talked politics at all on YouTube that they would de-boost it, but it seems like they're actually boosting talk, which is so weird. But then again, Fox News is like the biggest thing that they have on the platform as far as concurrent viewers. So who the hell knows? I've given up trying to figure out YouTube. Again, go to news.clownfishtv.com, get notified when we post new videos. So we'll talk about what Hasan Piker said and why Elon Musk got involved. I do want to give props, though. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me. A lot of people are going to get mad at me for this. Cenk. Cenk is, from the Young Turks, is actually the uncle of Hasan. For those of you who don't know. Cenk has been, for a while now, very surprisingly, he's actually been kind of moving more toward center. Now, we could argue if it's just survival because he realizes the winds of change are changing or blowing. They're changing. It could be that. But I will tell you, I saw his video clip when it was announced that Charlie Kirk was shot, and he looked rattled. He looked like he'd been crying, or he was at least teary-eyed. I don't think it was an act. I think he really was like, oh my God, how did this happen? And I don't think a lot of these people thought that anybody would be crazy enough to shoot one of them. And Charlie Kirk was basically one of them, a political talking head. And, so I'm sure, as a guy who's had some polarizing opinions himself, he probably had a lot of stuff going through his mind. But he came out and said that, it's not okay to celebrate this. It's not okay to goad it on. And I have to think he's looking in horror at some of the posts. Now, I just had to unfollow people today on Facebook, people that I thought were moderate, left wingers. I mean, I always consider myself a moderate, but these people were like, they weren't happy about Trump being elected, but I didn't think they would actually cheer on murder. And we're talking like normal, everyday people, right? We're not talking like fringe. We're talking people with jobs and families, and they were okay with it. And that is what has been, people are like, you said I'm really depressed when you talk about this. I'm like, that is what is depressing me. That anybody on any side could be okay with murder and political violence in America. Regardless of who it is, regardless of whether or not you agree with them. That's just depressing as fuck. It really is. It's a horrible thought to be like, I'm surrounded by people that think it's okay to kill people that they disagree with. And we're not just, this isn't the same. People are trying to be like, oh, we're getting fired from our jobs because, we had a different political opinion. You guys, got fired because you voted for Trump or whatever. I'm like, no, there's a huge difference between voting for somebody you don't like and maybe not being on board with, some of the stuff that, the ideology or whatever going on today, because for whatever reason, there's a huge difference between that and straight up murdering people and being okay with it and cheering it on and making lists of other people that you want killed. Like, this is really basic shit, right? Like, if we've lost the plot that we think it's okay to just kill people like that, society completely falls apart. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the point of all this was to get society to just completely fall apart. But I'm like, I've got to believe there are more people in America, regardless of your political affiliation, that think it's a horrendous thing You know, you don't have to agree with somebody's opinions, but I have to believe, because it's going to be hard to get up in the morning if this is not the case. I have to believe more people think this is heinous, absolutely heinous, that we have gone down this path. Because once we start down that path, there is no coming back from it. If we sign off on that, and a large majority of people sign off on that, there is no coming back. So like normally I am a free speech guy, and I still consider myself, I'm a libertarian, right? So I still consider myself a free speech guy. But when you're inciting violence and calling for violence and calling for murder, that crosses the line. The kind of the rule of thumb with libertarians, for those of you who don't really know, like, I don't care what you do as long as it doesn't infringe on other people's rights. You're not hurting anybody else. You're not breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? You do you, boo. You want to be I might not agree with it. I might think it's freaking weird, but you want to be in a 16-person polycule and you're all consenting adults and you're not hurting anybody else. I can't stop you, whatever, you know, you want to, whatever. I don't, you know, I think it's weird. I'm allowed to think it's weird, but, you know, you're consenting adults, whatever. But when you call for murder and you call for violence, then you have crossed the line, because you are at this point hurting other people and you're potentially destabilizing the country. And I can't get on board with that on any level. You know, and it's not a right or left thing. If you got a right winger on there talking about, you know, lynching people, God forbid, or anything like that, get them the fuck off of whatever platform they're on, right? Because nobody should be talking violence, using social media to talk about violence. So I will give, again, regardless of what you think about Cenk, I will give him props for trying to de-escalate the situation. I will give anybody on the left who is trying to de-escalate the situation, even, as I said in a previous video, even if it comes with a rider, a little asterisk next to it, that, you know, we got to have a conversation about gun violence. Fine. You know what? We can talk about gun violence and gun reform and all that stuff after we as a country sit down and we agree on a very basic thing, that murder is wrong and should not be celebrated. Okay. I was watching a clip with Charlie Kirk, because I never really watched him much before, but he's talking about macro issues and micro issues. That is the macro issue. We as a country have to agree murder and political violence in all forms is wrong. Then we can talk about the other stuff. But right now we can't even get people to agree on that. And that scares the shit out of me. I got to tell you, it's not cool, right? I never thought we'd be there as a country. I mean, this is something that happened decades or centuries ago. It's not something that happens now. So again, I will give anyone props, whether it's Cenk or even The View or Mark Hamill or Jimmy Kimmel or Colbert. Colbert actually said, I will give those guys props. If you try to de-escalate the situation, good. Anybody who tries to de-escalate the situation, good on you, right? I don't have to agree with everything you say, but good on you, because right now, I am really scared what happens next. I got to tell you. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. So this is what I'm talking about. I believe you have a right to free speech. And I really wish Cenk would call his own nephew out. I mean, I know he's not, you know, you're not your brother's keeper, let alone being your nephew's keeper. But his nephew is inciting violence. And it's not just like, hey, I wish, you know, Republicans would just like disappear and go poof and I wouldn't have to worry about him. No. He's actually calling, and he actually has before, called for violence against them and fantasized about violence. And so is that Destiny guy. I'm watching these clips and I'm horrified. I'm like, how in the hell is this allowed on an Amazon-owned platform? And these guys get like a slap on the wrist. I wasn't really paying attention before. I'm like, oh yeah, some far left guy saying something on Twitch, whatever. It's not, he got a slap on the wrist, whatever. But now I'm like, looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I'm thinking the FBI should get involved in this, because these are like terroristic threats. No other platform, even Blue Sky, even TikTok, put the kibosh on this kind of talk. Rightly so. Yeah, there's no place for violent threats on social media. That's not free speech. That's, you know, you can say, I think someone's a poo-poo caca head, But you can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, and also somebody should go do something to them. No. You've at that point you've crossed the line, and you've lost me. And there are a lot of people that lost me over the last couple days. That you want to know what the line is that I won't cross? That's it, man. And a lot of these people, I'm gonna be honest, some of them are working on comic books. Some of them are working on heroes that refuse to kill. Heroes that won't hurt people unless they absolutely have to, because they're heroes and they try to find another way to solve a problem. And some of these people are working on superheroes that have a no-kill mantra, and they're just like, yeah, it's cool, whatever, punch a Nazi, punch a Nazi, shoot a Nazi, same thing. And if we think you're a Nazi, whatever happens, right? Snicker. So this is one of those guys. So this comes from Cosmic Book News. He actually put, I think Grums and Madam Savvy put the original post up, and I saw it, and I saw the clips. And like I said, I wasn't really paying attention. I'm like, holy shit. Elon Musk calls out Amazon's Jeff Bezos over Twitch host Hasan Piker. Again, Jenk's nephew. He needs to call this guy out and be like, I had a talk with Hasan, and he needs to shut the fuck up because he's making things so much worse. That's okay. They might shut him up. Musk has once again entered the conversation around political violence in gaming and streaming communities, following his criticism of Microsoft for Blizzard developer comments about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Musk is now calling out Amazon owner Jeff Bezos over Twitch's handling of left-wing streamer Hasan Piker. Why the hell? And Bezos, was involved in the Washington Post and basically kicking out these activists from the Washington Post and trying to go back to center. You can't do that, Mr. Bezos, and simultaneously let somebody like Hasan make violent threats against people he doesn't like. That's not free speech, man. That's like potentially illegal. Musk's post on X. Musk responded to a viral video that compiled a series of Hasan's violent remarks during streams. The clip, circulated by creator Tectone, highlighted Piker using rhetoric such as, and I saw these myself. I'm not going to run them on here because I don't know if I'm going to get dinged. And also it's just like, it's gross. It's gross. You need to show your opponent's guts on there. You need to be gutting them, shanking these MFers. Slice them up, slice them, and fucking dice them. Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude. Kill Rick Scott. I did know about that one. Someone has to do it, referencing Donald Trump. The video ended with calls for Twitch to permanently ban Piker from the platform. Musk reposted the thread, tagging Bezos directly. What's up here, Jeff Bezos? And you don't think those guys talk? I mean, there's not a whole lot of billionaires in this world. And they kind of have a frenemy type relationship going on, right? It's kind of like Scrooge and Glomgold. Yeah, I don't know which one's which. I guess maybe Musk is Glomgold because they're both from South Africa. But Grums had it. Elon tags Jeff Bezos about Hasan's behavior. In a reply to Madam Savvy, Elon posts a viral video put together by Tectone. We've got here the original. Yeah, highlighting Hasan's repeated calls for killing and violence. What is going on here? I think in this particular case, again, I want to be very clear. I'm usually a free speech guy. Not when it comes to making violent threats against people, right? Not when it comes to making threats against people or trying to incite people. And that's the thing. How did we get here? How did we get to where we had political violence take place in this country and people sign off on it so easily? It's because people have become numb to it, because they've fantasized about killing and murdering people that they disagree with. Like we're some kind of third world country. It's insane. I mean, that we can't allow this. And again, this isn't like, you were joking about like, I'd like to punch that guy or whatever. It's, or this is like literal calls for violence and destiny too. Like, again, these are people I don't watch, but I mean, this guy was out there. And I saw that clip too. He's like, oh, we should genocide all Republicans. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with you? Maybe I answered my own question. I'm really beginning to wonder. I mean, there's something going on here. These people are mentally ill and, I mean, just so lost. And it's not even just we're having a minor disagreement. We're talking like, it's not okay to fantasize or incite violence and killing people. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Now, the weird thing is, I guess Hasan was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk, and he actually looks like he's legitimately upset when Kirk got shot. I mean, these comments were made a while ago, but dude, you and people like you are part of the problem. You and people like you are most of the problem. And it is coming out that, you know, it's very likely, I would say, given the profiling of the shooter and the shooter's boyfriend, girlfriend, furrykin, whatever the hell's going on there, they probably watched you, right? I'm just saying, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but you know, XQC thought it was horrifying. This is the correct human response. XQC calls Charlie Kirk shooting terrorism. It's terrorism. You know, even if you want to put away the motives, the brutality of the act is the same. I'm going to show up here and shoot somebody. It's the act, right? That's it. Nobody's telling you have to agree with Charlie Kirk, right? But we have to agree as a country that murdering people like that is, for political reasons, is wrong. Like, if we can't even agree on that, there's no hope, right? Yeah, and Hasan says America's so fucked after watching that. Well, then stop calling for people to be stabbed, killed, you know, because somebody's going to take you up on the offer. Aiden Ross says the most fucked up thing I've seen in a while. Yeah. Again, you don't have to agree with them, but I have absolutely positively curated my friends' feeds on most social media platforms. If you are celebrating murder and political violence, I don't want to be associated with you. That is the correct response, right? That is the moral thing. And one of the most shocking ones was a guy who was a professing Christian being like, yeah, that was the right thing to do. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And again, in that case, especially, maybe I answered my own question. I don't know, guys. But there we go. It might be that, Elon Musk is the one who takes out Twitch. That would be really interesting. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.